Hey, I've actually been wanting to react to one of these, so here we are. Marvel Rivals Hot Takes. Climbing wise, tank is the hardest role and support is the easiest role. Now, I disagree with this because I believe if you're the one carrying, tank's actually probably the easiest role. However, if you're the one being carried, support is the easiest role. In a double support comp, Mantis, Atom, Jeff, and Ultron are throw picks, but they're the most OP thing ever in triple support comps. I kind of disagree with this. Atom, I agree, is a throw pick in double. Jeff's, I'm actually fine with Jeff's now. I think Jeff's overhated. I think he's decent enough. Like, as long as everyone else is on, like, the same level, I think he's fine. Ultron, I also disagree with. I think Ultron's pretty decent. People want to say his heals are low, but I mean he does have a healing ult, and he's always going to be like overshielding you anyways. Like a good Ultron's going to always be giving you shield if you're about to die, so you should be okay. Mantis, I don't even know about Mantis. Her healing's definitely not enough, but like you will win games with just like a Mantis and one other support. So I'm like conflicted on Mantis, and she has a pretty high win rate overall. I think it's above 50% with all season or all roles and all ranks, or you know what I mean. But yeah, Mantis. I don't know if I count Mantis as a throw, but you got to be her. You got to be her. Best tanks: Emma, Mag, Groot. I don't know if that's really a hot take. I mean, I would accept that. Maybe you could put Hulk up there instead of Groot. I kind of think Groot's not that great right now, or he's not really in the best spot. And you could probably put Mag at one, but it doesn't really matter between those two. They're interchangeable. I'd be fine with them either way. Best DPS is Hela, Human, or Hela, Winter Soldier, Human Torch. I mean, Hela, sure, fine. Human Torch is very good. Winter Soldier is probably the most questionable one up there. You'd probably put Psylocke instead if you're trying to like go purely off like meta. So yeah, I guess that is kind of a hot take. Best supports: Loki, Invis, Luna. I don't know if that's too much of a hot take. I guess Invis at number 2 is kind of crazy. But Invis is very good. You could argue that. People are arguing Luna 1, but yeah, I accept that. That's fine. Comp is never the time to try characters out. If you aren't good slash perfect on the character you're picking, you're throwing. I definitely disagree with this, mainly because I disagree in absolutes, and there's definitely going to be a point in your like character's career where it evolves from quick play into competitive, which you in that case you are trying out the character. But also we despise perfection. As a support main, unless your team is actively ignoring dive, it is your job to communicate, since a dive's entire strategy is based off of timing and waiting for the moment your team won't be paying attention to you. I disagree. I think dive is the whole team's responsibility. So I don't care if you're in the front line. If you see a BP running off to the left to go flank your team, call that out. Like, yo, BP's running up on the left, pay attention. That way everyone knows to start looking for it. I'd also argue that it's not the moment your team isn't paying attention to you, it's the moment your team isn't paying attention to the diver. Mantis is literally the worst support, and I stopped mating her a long time ago. She's a good character, and I love her concept, but the heals are horrible. She can die in her own ultimate easily, and her damage boost is literally 1 or 2 more units than the initial damage. People hype it up way too much. Her value is hard carried by her damage or triple support comps, where she's basically a DPS with a cherry on top kind of healing, and whenever they buff her, they always nerf her. So I do agree that a lot of the times her buffs are nerfs. Like, I don't think this last healing buff to her leaves really like did anything at all, so it's more of like a change if anything. But I definitely disagree with her being the worst support, and I definitely disagree with her being easily killed in her ultimate. I don't know if you've played Mantis in Season 3 or not, but she gets like up to 400 HP when you pop her ultimate, and all that excess healing turns into overshield. So it's like, you're not really going to die. You can eat a mag ult there. So her ult's definitely pretty good now since the Season 3 changes. I would probably give worse support to like Atom. I think Atom's probably worse than her. and her damage is pretty good. Her damage boost is good. Like 1 or 2 units is a lot. I don't know if that's accurate, but hey, if you can make Widow one shot, that's actually kind of crazy. To end the debate, I feel like all roles have their cons. Tanks are crybabies, DPSs are just slow and use everyone as scapegoats, and supports sometimes have a victim complex, and some just aren't made for healing. So as far as tanks go, I don't really hear tanks cry too much, except about, Wolverine being a terrorist, and maybe I hear that they're bored because they feel forced to go Emma Mag every single game. So I mean, I kind of agree to some extent, because you guys could just go other tanks. Like, stop worrying about stop worrying about the meta. DPSs are just slow and use everyone as scapegoats. I mean, yeah, DPSs do pawn off like all their problems on everyone else, so I agree with you there. Supports sometimes have victim complex. I kind of agree, but if everyone's blaming you 100% of the time and you actually only make 10% of the mistakes, I can relate. I can relate. Panther is 100% a valid ban. People try to gaslight you into thinking he's the weakest DPS when he can literally speed blitz you before a tank can even react to appeal. He is just like tank banning Wolverine. Anyone who says otherwise doesn't play support enough to see how unplayable he can make the game. I agree. Panther is 100% a valid ban, and BPs do try to gaslight you. You do have to be pretty aware of his presence. Similar to Wolverine, I think Wolverine's probably a little bit worse, mainly because Wolverine can also mess up supports with his ult. But yeah, BP's a terrorist. Get him out of here. Valid ban. Use your bans wisely. For example, don't ban Iron Man. If you have a Hela, don't ban Penny. In a convoy map where her kit isn't consistently viable for her to be worth the ban. And if you are banning a support that isn't Jeff, that's a waste and a throw. Okay, first, I think banning Jeff is a throw. Okay, what are we talking about? We can't call him a throw pick and start banning him as well. Don't ban Hela, or don't ban Iron Man if you have Hela. Depends on, how much flyers you think they're gonna go. I don't think it's terrible to ban a torch if you have a Hela, because if they go full fly comp, your one hit scan is not gonna do it for you, And Penny, I don't think Penny ever deserves a ban. The main Penny I talked to is my duo, and he actually prefers Penny on convoy maps than domination. So I don't know if you would really want to ban her on convoy anyways, but I don't really know. I don't think Penny's worth the ban. You just throw a vortex at the nest and it goes. But I mean, I guess if your team's all melee, I don't know, you got Hulk, Thing, BP, Magic, and I don't know, 2 random supports that aren't invis, I can see banning Penny then. Hello will always be the best DPS. Gene is barely close. Again, we disagree with absolutes where we come from. So I definitely disagree with this, because it wasn't in 2.0, it might have been 2.5 as well, but Psylocke was the best DPS, so that's already not an always. And Jean has only been out for 3 or 4 weeks, bro. Give her some time to develop. She could probably take the mantle. That's all my opinions, by the way. Okay, I mean, not too bad overall. I mean, I just disagree with absolutes, and I kind of don't agree with throw picks, because I think anyone can be viable in the correct hands, but whatever. You kind of have to be him in some of those situations, or you kind of have to be them. But whatever. That's my opinions. Deuces.